all fighting games are new characters, newbies, complete noobs.
Fighting games are controversial currently, I guess. Anyway, to start things off, Street Fighter 6, the Outfit 3 for the Season 3 DLC characters has been revealed.
Wasn't that already revealed?
Not last time we did FGA.
I
Or
could
wait, no.
swear we had already talked about Ingrid. Yeah, Ingrid's
Yes.
showgirl outfit.
So
Like
here's
the
the
rest
thing.
of them, we were like, who cares? But Ingrid's showgirl outfit was like, what? Oh, you explained the history of it to me.
Yeah. So here's what happened. I'm looking at it, and it says 2 weeks ago. And this news dropped during FGA. Which is very rare. So that's why I didn't remember.
Yes, I remember that happening midway through. I just went over to check my YouTube subscriptions, and I saw it, and I went, "Oh shit! News in the middle of the podcast."
Yeah. Okay, well then, first actual news. Let's see. World Tour is over.
Oh yes, this particular bit of news. Yeah, this is curious, especially considering the next round of characters they show. Because
I mean, there's one character in the next round of characters where, like, how would you do that? So, I think that's the reason.
That's probably part of it. At the same time, you could talk to his ghost.
Oh no! Not him. Her. She's the problem.
I guess, but to be honest, she's a problem in all fields. Like arcade mode, she shouldn't be there either. She shouldn't
True.
be anywhere in this.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
Just have the fucking John World Tour finder in the time warp and just go like, okay. Well, anyways, here she is in the time warp. Let's talk to her in the time warp.
Yeah. So, World Tour, the way World Tour ends is John World Tour sacrifices himself so Bosch can live. He reckons himself out of existence.
Was this involved with the Ingrid stuff?
Yes. Ingrid has a mission, like a mission line, I guess, where she's like, "Hey, I know you really love Bosch." She says to no one, but I know you really love Bosch. There is a way we can get him back, but it will have repercussions. And then as you do more to get Bosch back, which, by the way, the reason Bosch can even come back is happenstance. The way Ingrid explains it is, his soul got caught up in whatever time dilation occurred when Ingrid showed up. And that's the reason.
Okay, so they are putting in place that Ingrid can bring back the dead, but on a very highly specific condition, so that they don't run into the problem that time travel and dimension travel and so on such stories run into. Of anytime someone dies, it's like, why don't we just get them back?
Yeah. So yes, like Ingrid can bring people back, so long as you you jump through all of these hoops, and also she happened to be there when their soul was sucked into the dimension hole.
Okay. I will say, I appreciate that Capcom did all this with bringing Bosch back, because I was thinking the other day, like, the thing that was actually interesting about World Tour's story was the way that it ended, with JP killing Bosch, you beat up JP, and then JP just going like, okay, you did that for what? Beating me up didn't bring Bosch back. And it also didn't stop New Shadaloo or Neo Shadaloo or whatever the hell it's not Neo Shadaloo. Neo Shadaloo is Ed's group. What's JP's group?
Siren, maybe?
Siren. And you also didn't stop Siren from exploiting Nashal. You've done nothing. And the John World Tour just pretty old having to go, fuck.
Yeah.
And there you go. Roll credits, fuckers.
Yeah, no, the actual ending for World Tour now is you go back in time to all the times that you fought Bosch, and you beat his ass again. But this time you beat him so hard that you get removed from the scenario. And
Ugh.
and once you're done beating the shit out of Bosch, everyone forgets about you. And like I guess John World Tour, but because he didn't get like erased from existence, he just literally retconned himself out of everyone's memories. So I guess he's just floating in space now, immortal, mind you. Like he didn't master Chim. Ingrid just helps him do Chim shit. So he's just floating in space, immortal. Everyone forgot him, and he's out of time. Like literally, he's outside of time thing, whatever timeline.
So he's hanging out with the two other co-holders then.
I don't know. I mean, we won't know. I think this is just them going, hey, John Wiltor, not canon. And so all the things that,
What?
yeah?
He's canon, it's just nobody remembers him being canon.
Well, he's canon in the same way that fucking Silver the Hedgehog is canon to Sonic. Like, he's
okay, I appreciate that we both have a reference we can make that the other person won't get, because I was going to make a reference to fucking the Sentry from his comic version, which is also a really dumb instance of memory fuckery retconning nonsense.
I mean, the thing with Silver specifically is that like his one game where he's actually introduced is Sonic 06. Sonic
Yes.
06's story is Silver rounding up the other two so they can make sure the game doesn't happen. All of the storyline, all of the story that's in the game is nullified. It gets overwritten as not having happened, which means they never met Silver.
Silver saw Sonic get busy with a human girl and went, okay, this can't happen.
That should be me. He says about
He
Sonic.
He saw the godforsaken children that they would conceive and went, I have to stop this.
But yeah, like
This is where you say, those should be my children.
Silver might have, but no, it's not even. It's not even because like if Sonic got busy,
No, I miss. Oh, fuck it, whatever.
yeah. I mean, if it would be one thing if Sonic got busy with a human, but it's not even that. It's a human girl doing some weird combination of like I don't know. Would you call it bestiality and also necrophilia at that point? But Sonic is dead.
Oh God, you're right. I forgot that also because Sonic was dead. That would be necrophilia. Sonic, no.
Well, Sonic can do shit. He's fucking dead. It's all her.
That's true. Which that's one of the many things that's screwed up about necrophilia is that the corpse has no say in the matter.
Yeah. So anyway, John Rotor is dead. He cannot consent. Bosh, no.
Oh God. So did you see the Easter egg people noticed with Bosch's art in the season pass reveal?
Oh, he has the hat.
Yep, he has the hat.
Which, like, I think that's just a thing of, like, realistically, because the way they retconned it, or whatever you want to call it, the way it was rewritten by John World Tour, the event of World Tour, Bosch did all of the shit that you did, and that's it. Like, he just wasn't there. John World Tour.
That I am gonna have some serious questions. I think we're all gonna have some serious questions. How the hell does he play?
Oh, I have no questions. He played like, judging by the World Tour moveset, he'll have like charge shoulder attack. Which I mean, the World Tour version is not unblockable. That's not gonna fucking fly. And then what else does he even have? Like he has an overhead kick, but I think that's just forward heavy K, or that will be.
Yeah.
And then let's see what else does the AI use a lot with him. It's more or less just that, and then otherwise Luke's moveset. So
So what I'm wondering is like Bosch, like especially if Bosch still like World Tour somehow kind of happened with Bosch doing what you did. Should Bosch not be working with a Shujinko moveset?
maybe. I mean, it's odd to say because like the plot beats that you that you retconned, the ones that they confirmed that Bosch did instead of you, are not really related to you learning any other style. So
This is weird.
yeah,
I mean, like, I remember when I was playing through World Tour, I was thinking, man, Bosch is getting a lot of attention for a character who's
Bosch
like
is
not playable in the base game roster.
Bosch is getting a lot of attention for the first 20 minutes, and then nothing, and then for the last 20 minutes. I mean, that is true.
There's stuff in between there when he's like going crazy. Jury kidnaps him. He has the box on his head.
Oh, that's the last 20 minutes. Yes,
God, is it? Because
yes.
that's before you get
I
to Nashal, isn't it?
no.
Because you're going up in the skyscraper and Sea Viper's there in her undercover identity.
Yeah, that's in the latter half of the game. Like
I
I
mean, it's in
played
the
through
latter half, but
like I played through World Tour leading up to Ingrid's release. So it sits pretty vividly in my mind, and like it's genuinely like you do shit in Metro City, you do the first like 3 or 4 missions together, and then he fucks off, and then he's in a cutscene with Jerry where the two of you get beaten, and then he disappears, and you do like I want to say 5 hours of gameplay, and we're at chapter 15 of 20, and then he's in
yeah.
Nashal with the psycho power. And then you fight him. Then he's gone again for another 4 chapters, and then he shows up at chapter 19 again, something like that.
Hmm. Well, all right.
Let's see. Tokon is getting a one shot comic. I mean,
Oh, it'd be weird if it didn't. That's kind of an obvious cross marketing plan there, you know.
yeah.
Though I'm sure the comic will not be very good. Modern Marvel does not make good comics.
I don't know what you mean. They made soft serve. And again, then again, soft serve I think was made like more than 10 years ago. So
Oh, I think her quote unquote official debut, which she's only ever appeared in like the background of a panel twice. But nonetheless, I think her quote unquote official debut was in the background of one of the Krakoa comics, which would have run from, I don't know, let's say 2018 or 2019 through to like 2022, I think. 2023?
okay, then not that long ago, but yeah.
Yeah, which I think she debuted first as the artist's OC Donut Steel art on like his, Deviant art or whatever. Like maybe a year or two before that. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well
Hmm.
then, Nakatsu left Bamco. Nakatsu being
Yes.
the current director of Tekken. So
Yes. I think I mentioned this in the fighting game thread already, but this is bizarre to me because in my head, like I kind of figured like, oh, with Harada leaving Tekken, leaving Bamco, it kind of felt like, oh, okay, so they're dedicatedly saying, no, we don't want to do things Harada's way. We're happy with the way Tekken 8 is, and we want to make Tekken 8 and in the future Tekken 9 more like Tekken 8. This is the way we want to do things. We're sending out Harada because he's old and he's old fashioned and he's out of time.
I know. See the
But
problem here. The thing that you're mixing up is that Harada didn't get fired. He literally can't get fired. It's Japan. They don't do that. They can't do that. It's against the constitution. But
well,
Harada
they
quit.
can't fire him, but they can motivate him to quit by not allowing him to do anything.
Yeah.
Uh, so I mean within the context of what you said, yes, where it's him. Harada did not get fired. They just kind of kicked him upstairs until he got bored and quit. I kind of figured with them kind of poo-pooing Harada on so much, seemingly, to get him to quit and go and want to make games for someone else, that had, at least to me, implied that they wanted to go, away from Harada.
Yeah, although
And it seemed like
actually, from what I understand from Harada's own things, which like this is I don't know like fourth hand information, but from what I understand, what happened with Harada wasn't that they gave him nothing to do so that he'd quit, but that they did the normal business thing of, well, Harada made Tekken a big success, so surely he can make or fucking I don't know complaints and returns part of the company also be a success.
they were giving him other parts of the company to work on.
Yes, like they were giving him teams that had nothing to do with shit that he's done before, and just went like,
I
okay, you figure
see.
it out.
Well, that is also though that could go either way, because I could still see that as basically just being a way of like, Harada, we're sick of having you around. We're going to give you work we know you don't want to do.
It
I
could
don't
be,
know.
yeah.
I'm not there. I wasn't there. I wasn't even there. I don't know what the hell went on, but I can speculate. And given that I really did not enjoy a lot of what was going on, what was changed about Tekken 7, and Tekken 8 looks like it's even worse, I feel a general inclination to say Bamco is no longer interested in my monies. And I would speculate from there, Bamco might be interested in certain other directions, like making the games more over the top and more crazy, and making it where, even though what set Tekken apart to begin with was that the characters didn't throw fireballs, getting it where the characters were pretty well just throwing fireballs and shit. But then they also this guy left, and I don't. Again, I mean, the guy can just quit because he wants to do something else. At the same time, like with Tekken 8 being as controversial as it is, and not nearly the smash success that Tekken 7 was, it also raises questions.
Yeah.
I mean, what we're doing here is idly speculating about other people's jobs. So on some level here, no matter what, it's just going to be like, well, it could be this, it could be that. Like, you and I are not like really super informed on these sorts of things. But it does just like observation of the patterns. It does seem to me like this is just kind of a situation that's very mixed up.
Yeah. I mean, I'm wondering, because, Harada quit because they didn't let him do what he wanted to. I wonder how much of that is this, because this guy was also with the company for 20 years, so...
Yeah, I mean, it's a problem with a lot of game dev right now is that game devs aren't really getting to do what they want to do.
And not just that, but like, I have to wonder how much of Tekken's current direction is up to this guy because he was the game director, and how much of Tekken's current direction is up to the suits who told him that he either does this or his boss get cut off.
Yeah. He either does this or they put him in charge of shipping and receiving.
Yeah.
I forget what it was. I could swear I actually just like a month ago heard Harada or somebody talking about like specifically like, yeah, it's kind of a pain in the ass working at Japanese game developers because of their policy of never firing anybody. They just kick them upstairs. Because there are guys that recognize like, oh, I'm in the doghouse. I'm just gonna quit. But there's more guys that are like, fuck you, I'll take this job and I'll be really bad at it. And now you're gonna have to all deal with the fact that now you're working for a guy who's really bad at his job because he couldn't be fired. I mean, there had been talks about that with Ono for a long time.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre way of running things.
But yeah, like
God,
for my part, like I don't see Tekken coming out of this better. You know?
no. I want to know. The other day, I finally got around to starting kicking on the first Onimusha, which I've owned on Steam for years and years, had it installed for years and years. I finally got around to giving it a whirl. And as I was starting it on this note, this topic of incompetent assholes in Japanese game development getting kicked upstairs, one of the very first credits that appears on screen, executive produced by Keiji Inafune. I went, oh no, that didn't age well. Whoops. Yeah, I fucked up.
A bit.
A little bit. I forget, did anything ever come out about Inafune being a pervert or anything, or was it just like
I
just
think
how much he was influencing Capcom to try and like make bad games instead of good games?
I think tax fraud.
Tax fraud. Oh, that's a classic right there. I'm a big fan of that one. That puts him in the illustrious company of DMX and Wesley Snipes, I think. Or was Wesley Snipes tax fraud, or he just honestly refused to pay it? He just like, no, I'm not paying it.
I don't remember. I'm trying to
DMX
see.
was like for a while trying to be like trying to become a deacon or something, deduct taxes,
Oh,
like a priest or something. I don't remember if he was even ever known to be particularly Christian.
I'm trying to find what he did, but I can't see anything. I think it's something like tax fraud. It's like not, he wasn't a sex pervert. He was just a money pervert.
Yeah. White collar crimes give me such joy because I can laugh at like it's not per se a victimless crime, but it's close to one. So I don't feel bad laughing at it and going like, "Oh man, the victims are hurting. I shouldn't be laughing." Like, no, this one's like, "Oh man, what an idiot! He fucking thought he could cheat the government on that and got caught. What a doof!"
Eh.
Like every time, Mr. Sonic the Hedgehog man, what was his name?
Oh boy. uh, I'm looking it up because I forget.
All
Yuji Naka.
12 times. Yuji Naka, there we go. That fucking champion. All 12 times that guy got caught for insider trading and shit. I was just laughing every time because the Pat and Wooly put it best. He loves it. He loves it. He can't help himself.
Yeah.
He sees stocks and he's like, I shouldn't insider trade those. But what if I did though?
I mean, the big question with Naka is what he loves more: insider trading or putting all functions on one button.
Yeah.
Because
The other buttons there on the controller are there for just adjusting camera angles.
not even. I think during the making of the Bell and Wonderworld, he was like, using more than one button confuses the player. So the only
Those fucking
controls,
chimpanzees.
yes. So the only controls in the game are, the stick for movement, and every face button does the same set of options, which is context sensitive.
Oh, I remember that. God, there was a time period where that was really bad in a lot of game dev, where inexplicably the A button and the B button do the same thing. And it's like, but why?
Because they were trying to standardize the inputs between Japan and the West, probably.
I guess. God, do you remember the? I think several of the Devil May Cries were guilty of this, where several buttons are considered the interact button for like the interactables, like a door or what have you.
I think so, yeah.
So you're trying to press jump or dodge, and either of them will open the door.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So, fighting
Ugh.
games. Sony's new fight stick is $200.
Yeah. Sony right now seems to really think they're in an advantageous position that they can just overplay their hand. I don't think this is going to work for them. Alternatively, they may be in the position of thinking that PC is going to eat their lunch anyways soon enough, so they're just like, screw it, you reap while the sun's shining.
I mean,
But it
it's
does seem.
the thing is that like between the companies, like Nintendo isn't in the running because they're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Sony is showing their balls. Xbox is jerking off.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a difference there. Xbox is doing something weird, but you're like, well, I at least understand why
Xbox
he's doing it.
Xbox is
He
joking.
obviously just he derives pleasure from this, clearly. Sony, though, is not only not doing anything that necessarily in and of itself gives physical pleasure, it's more of a psychological pleasure. But furthermore, Sony's doing it in such a way, it's the sort of thing where the psychological pleasure is supposed to be derived from harming other people. And it's like, but you could at least do like Microsoft and just, I don't know, jerk off.
Yeah. Hey, have you heard of joking?
I've heard the term used.
J E
I
L
know.
Q I N G.
I know. I've heard the term used several times. I don't know what it means, and I'm kind of fine with that. The time
Okay.
period of my life where I felt like I had to look this stuff up and find out what it meant. To be honest, I was never super bad about that.
Yeah.
I've never been Mister like, oh, I have to possess all the hidden information. Like I remember, I've seen for a long time. I've seen people say, "Oh man, the most disgusting thing: don't Google blue waffles." I have never Googled blue waffles once. I will never do it.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to fighting games and
Yes.
away from.
And anyways, speaking of blue waffles, Carnage.
Oh God! Oh God! Yeah, I will say I almost kind of like swore at this reveal because when they revealed Magneto, I was like, oh motherfuck, my team was already assembled. Was my team already assembled? Was I waiting on Magneto? I actually might have been waiting on Magneto because I knew already
Fucking Magneto. He took
three
Magneto's
fourths.
place.
Lousy Magneto. Now I can't pick between Magneto and Magneto. Uh, you know what? I think I did have Magneto picked because I know for certain that with the launch, like the already revealed roster of the very beginning, I went, oh sweet, Kamala, Doctor Doom, and Storm. That's three full quarters of my team already picked for me. Thanks, Arxis, looking out for me on that one.
Yeah.
And I think I was saying even back then, like now I'm just waiting for them to reveal Magneto, and there's my fourth. The one that'll be a motherfuck is if Ghost Rider's team has Punisher on it. Then I'll be like, oh motherfucker. Because that's my 5 for Marvel right there.
Yeah.
That's my fave 5 right there. Wish I could remember whatever stupid monologues Booker T would go on back in the day.
Shucky Ducky.
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh boy. Oh.
I appreciate Carnage and Goblin.
That is really cool. Like, I love Venom. I prefer Venom to Carnage, personally. I've never been a big Carnage guy, but I like Carnage, and Carnage has never had fighting game representation.
Yeah.
And it's kind of bizarre, because Carnage is one of Spidey's most beloved foes.
Yeah, I like both Venom and Carnage. But, like, it's out of the symbiotes, I like Venom and Carnage. I'm okay with Anti-Venom. That's it. That's enough.
I remember there was a time where I thought Toxin was cool. To tell the truth, I don't think I ever thought Toxin character-wise was cool, because I remember even as a kid, I read about him, and it was like, he's even stronger than Venom and Carnage combined. I remember as a kid thinking, well, that's kind of dumb. Why is he that? What's the point of having Venom then? But I think I honestly just liked that he had the red on top, blue on bottom color scheme.
Yeah.
But Venom, I think Eddie's a more interesting character than Cletus, but
Yes.
Carnage, for fighting style, Carnage is more logically going to be a more creative fighter.
Yeah.
Like, I know that it's been the trope for Venom in all of his video game depictions that they always make him more creative in the games where he's doing all this crazy symbiote stuff and turning into a giant mouth and what have you. But generally speaking, Venom archetypally is not a very creative fighter. He's kind of just big and muscly. He
Yeah, like
doesn't do that much symbiote goop stuff. He kind of just
Venom.
punches people.
Venom. As much as I know Venom, the overall character, like Venom is Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man? Spider-Man was a brick shit house. Whereas Carnage
Yeah,
is his own fighter.
yeah. Carnage, it's kind of astounding that it took them this long on Carnage.
Yeah.
Because Carnage, like, is fundamentally built to be Mr. Oh, I just turned the symbiote into all kinds of bullshit. You don't even know what I'm going to bust out here.
Yeah.
So we're going to be in for some interesting move sets, I think, with both him and Gabo. Assuming that Arxis does not get a little too, what's the word, homogenized with it, which is, of course, the primary fear we've had with Tokon for pretty well most of the hype cycle surrounding it.
Yeah. I mean, Gabo, it's good to see him back. This is his first fighting game appearance since Spider-Man Friend or Foe. Deep
Oh
pool.
god, I forgot that there was an arena fighter part mode in that game.
Yeah.
Did you see that Gabo, someone went frame by frame and noticed that one of Gabo's moves he busted out was the finger laser?
Oh no, I didn't.
They gave him the fucking finger laser, the Gabo power that everybody forgets he can do. It's not a
Nice.
power, it's a gadget, but
Yeah.
still. Ugh.
But yeah, like I did,
Hmm.
I have characters to look forward to, two of them, so that I can be disappointed when the game plays like Fighter Z.
Oh yeah, yeah. That game is playing like Fighter Z. Like I think you got that read pretty well instantly, didn't you?
Yeah.
Like I was thinking early on, like, well, it's one health meter, so it might be Guilty Gear, but like, no, it's Fighter Z.
Yeah, and it turns out with all the fucking shit that I play, I'm pretty good at guessing what stuff plays like off of footage by now. Cause like,
To be
yeah,
honest, I I also got a Fighter Z feeling, but I was just kind of like, I hope it's not Fighter Z because I want Addy to be able to enjoy this.
yeah. Sadly, they don't make games for me anymore.
Arxis doesn't. No, they don't. Like I'm. The funny thing is, I was simultaneously hoping it wasn't Fighter Z because I was like, hopefully it's something that Addy can enjoy. But I was also kind of hoping it was Fighter Z because it's like, please don't let it be Strive.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Fighter Z, it is the better of the two options.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Far and away from me, like, yeah, easily because I actually quite enjoy Fighter Z. But like, it's definitely continuing the long streak of Arxis being like, man, wasn't the golden age of Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue really cool? Yeah, let's never do that again.
Yeah.
Guilty Gear is gonna be turned into something else. Blaze Blue's getting turned into gotcha porn.
No. Blaze Blue is getting turned into this guy's like roguelite Metroidvania.
What?
Yes, real.
Is that a thing that's happening or going to happen?
It's happened. Look up Blaze Blue entropy effect.
Oh, I think we've talked about this before. Okay.
Yes.
Good lord. Oh boy.
Which, like, if you're really starting for Blaze Blue, then I guess you can do worse than roguelike Metroidvania that allows you to do Blaze Blue combos. But like, I barely like Blaze Blue. I don't need that.
Hmm. Well, also they did well, I guess we did talk about Magneto a little bit, so.
Magneto,
But yeah,
I mean,
Tokon keeps trucking on, and there's one team left to reveal, the Ghost Rider team, which only has Ghost Rider himself revealed, no one else.
I thought you were gonna say the Ghost Rider team is only Ghost Rider, like 4 different variants of
It's,
him, or alternatively
they
just the one
could do
guy.
that. The Ghost Rider's a character they could do that. That would be like having fucking Team Green Lantern. It's like, yeah, that actually works. Because It'd be hilarious if the first Ghost Rider they revealed was Robbie Reyes over Johnny Blaze. But nonetheless, they could do it because it's Robbie Reyes, Johnny Blaze, Dan Ketch. And for the fourth one, they can either do Alejandra or Carter, depending on whether you want a cowboy or you want a girl Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Alejandra's not really that interesting, but she is a girl. She is the one girl Ghost Rider. Carter's more visually interesting at the same time. It's like, oh, that's a lot of penises on that team.
Yeah. But if they go that route, I hope that Johnny is just fucking oh, how am I forgetting his name? Nicolas Cage. Like I hope it's just like photorealistic Nicolas Cage.
Just do like that one Rivals of Aether edit of Knuckles that for some reason pastes a picture of the Rock's a still PNG of the Rock's face over it.
See, like that would be funny, but I think it's funnier if it's like just a full like Unreal Engine 5 photorealistic model of Nicolas Cage put into Tokon.
Does he do the Marvel Infinite Penance stare animation?
Yes.
Oh boy. You know, the thing is, when I look at like, oh, a Ghost Rider team, it's like, oh man, they could do Midnight Suns, they could do a Street Focus team. I remember, no way, this is Tokon. They put Star-Lord on the Spider-Man team. They don't give a fuck.
What do you mean? They're both named Peter. He's Spider-Man.
Yeah. They both in at least one universe banged Kitty Pryde. There you go. That's the unifying factor to the team. Spider-Man, Star-Lord, Penny Parker, and who's the fourth member of that team?
Kamala.
Come on, Kamala. All four of them at some point banged Kitty Pryde. Oh shit.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to Ghost Rider's team. Let's see.
Cable.
I mean, yeah, that would be funny. Cable Sentinel.
Cable
Soft serve.
Soft serve. All my favorite ex-villains on one team. Oh, hell. Did my internet just go out?
No, you're still here.
Okay. Yeah, I got rather alarmed for a little bit there because the Google Home thing there I've got in the back of my room just spoke up to notify me that it can't connect to the internet. And I was like, oh no.
Maybe they just killed it. Google does that.
Maybe. I mean, it's kind of inevitable that at some point they're probably gonna what's the word for when they intentionally cut off service just because they want you to buy the new version?
And obsolescence, I guess.
God, mothballing. I think. Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are just cutting off because they want you to buy the new one. It could just be they're cutting off because they don't want to pay for it anymore. But yeah, I mean, I was figuring at some point they're gonna mothball this motherfucker.
All right.
Avatar
Legends was delayed.
Yes, I heard about
July 23rd.
A very small delay, correct me if I'm wrong.
Like 2 weeks?
Yeah, that's the kind of small delay that doesn't feel like, oh man, this needs more time to cook in the oven. That feels like a kind of delay that's like, oh shit, we just found a major exploit that breaks the game.
Yeah, we added Gambit to the game, and we thought it would be fine, but then he froze up all of the fucking dev machines.
We just now got around to playing with Kyoshi, and it turns out that she gets bigger every second, and we don't know why.
There's nothing in the code that does this. Just wants it so.
The weird thing was, if we let her just stand still and get bigger for a complete 5 rounds, she eventually turns and looks at us here in the dev studio and starts talking.
Yeah. No one's been able to decipher what she's saying. It's in a forgotten tongue.
I gotta say that was very amusing to see like competitive hardcore fighting game types go, oh shit, Kyoshi's actually that big. That's cool. She could just pick Azula up and fucking eat her. That's awesome. Meanwhile, the competitive and pro fighting game types are like, oh no, she's gonna suck.
Yeah.
She's going to eat The most nasty mix-ups and combos on the universe.
she's going to eat this Vacast mix-up.
She will. Ong is going to air dash backwards through her and hit her left and right, high and low at the same time. The only way Aang could make it more nasty is if he somehow figures out to also make it a strike throw.
Yeah.
Zuko doesn't even have to pick his dive kicks. They all hit her. Oh, by the way, just only bringing this up just because it's something that surprised me. Apparently, I don't know if this is one of the YouTubers that got to play the game in a beta form or if this came from a dev interview, but apparently it's been confirmed that Virtua Fighter 6 is actually not going to get rid of character unique combos.
Oh.
That they are going to keep the whole thing. We're like, yeah, Ganryu's heavier, so he's going to fall faster, so some combos don't work on him. Or not Ganryu. Wait, is it Ganryu?
No.
Ganryu's the Tekken one, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
Taka-Arashi.
Tekken Sumo Man.
The Virtua Fighter one is Taka-Arashi, I think.
Taka-Arashi, yes. So yeah, he's still gonna work like that. And conversely, I assume Sarah and Pai Chan are still going to be really light, and so you can just combo them for forever. Anyways, onwards.
People have found that an Art of Fighting 3R might be coming. There's documentation for it on Steam.
Really?
Yes.
Well, I assume this leans more on the side of remaster than remake, but nonetheless, this is kind of a surprise and kind of not. Virtua Fighter 3 is generally considered the... Well, God, I feel like every Virtua Fighter I've heard someone say, like, oh, this one's the best one. Oh, Art of Fight? Oh, what the fuck? But Art of... That's weird. All right.
Yes, the speculation is that I've seen is that the R probably stands for rollback, and they're just adding rollback to it.
Okay, that'd be fine.
Yeah.
It'd be unusual because Art of Fighting 3 is a game that is generally considered a bit clown shoes by a lot of people, but it's still better than Art of Fighting 1 and Art of Fighting 2, so hey.
Look, they need something, so, to buy the game with Rio in it.
The game with not Ryu in it.
Yeah. I think the biggest fucking amount of shade that I've seen Capcom throw in the past 20 years has been in the Avatar arcade that they added with Ingrid. If you play through, then sometimes instead of getting the actual fighting game characters, like, instead of getting Ryu and shit, you get the people from World Tour who are pretending to be them. And and one of them is dressed up like Street Fighter 1 Ryu, and his name is Ryo.
Oh my god. Still, after all these years, they feel like they gotta nail him with it, huh?
Yeah.
That's kind of great.
At this point, I think it's just tradition to shit on SNK.
When SNK is crossing over with them in that game.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
And the thing is, I don't know the context of the people leaving and forming SNK from Capcom, but like, what's the difference? Like, what did they do that Capcom is still shitting on them for it? Like 40 years later, when Arika gets away scot-free.
Yeah, I don't know what the what exactly the gimmick with with the feud there is. I always just kind of figured there was a lot of sideways commentary thrown at Art of Fighting and Rio and Robert for being knockoffs so blatantly of Street Fighter. Because I always remember Dan, his win quote, was it Alpha where his win quote was, I hate the art of fighting, but I want to be the king of fighters.
Yeah, and I mean, even his design, his design is just like, what if Rio had fucking Robert's head, more or less.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
Virtual Fighter Crossroads, which the VI in Virtual Fighter is lit up, so it's 6. So you know.
Yes. That was a very cute touch.
We saw Paichon,
So,
and we saw Voltor, and
yeah.
we also saw uh Puerto Rican, I think, Jamie.
Yeah, I saw people getting excited about him. They really like that scene of him walking around the wall and like he's imagining the Virtua Fighters on the wall fighting him.
Yeah. Which people are saying that Jackie is soft confirmed because he's fighting Jackie, and like I saw that Jackie,
Yeah,
he looked like Jackie did in 5, which like doesn't mean anything. I just would assume that he'd be older now.
I wouldn't because Sarah's not going to be older.
I mean, yeah, but she's not Sarah on paper. She that's the Great Muto, not Keiji Muto.
My bet is that Jackie Bryant will have gone through some changes and they're probably hiding them right now. But that he's not going to have aged much because Jackie seems like the kind of character that Sega would prefer he stay a pretty boy.
Yeah, maybe. Jackie went through some changes. Flip kick, 1 frame, 50 frames active, 1 frame recovery.
Yeah.
Minus 10 on block.
Did you say minus 10 or plus 10?
I said minus.
Okay, well, at least it's. What? How does it end up minus 10 on block if it has 1 frame of recovery?
I don't know.
If it gets blocked, Jackie falls on his head.
Yeah.
Makes a crunching noise every time he does, but then he gets back up anyways.
So yeah, anyway, we didn't see a whole lot of like it's hard to say because we saw a lot of gameplay for their story mode, but we didn't see a lot of like fighting gameplay.
Yeah, they still haven't shown us a great degree of that. We saw enough that apparently people are thinking that juggles might be gone and honestly replaced with crumple stuns.
Yeah. I mean, that's I think that's because someone went through in 5 and replicated all the combos that you see in the new teaser, and in 5 it does juggle combos, and in the new one it's just crumple stun. But
Yeah.
I don't know, bounce system.
Yeah. Bounce system's almost going in the complete opposite direction of like, no, we need more juggles.
True.
I have to give them credit for actually trying to stick to the idea of like we want this to feel like the realistic 3D fighter,
Yeah.
particularly as Tekken continues to go. Nah, Kazuya drops a nuke on you for a super move. You know?
Yeah. I appreciate that from what little footage we've seen, like actual gameplay footage we've seen of the story mode. I do appreciate that it feels like we're bridging the gap between Shenmue and Yakuza. You know?
There was a strong Shinmu feeling there.
Yes.
Which I want to note, Mike, at some point in the last week or two, well, he found a copy of Street Fighter 6 on the sidewalk. Wouldn't you know it?
I see.
The sidewalk wizard struck again, and he's been playing a lot of World Tour and saying, "Man, this feels like Street Fighter, but also Shenmue, and then also I can uppercut Grandma."
True. Actual.
Which Virtual Fighter may permit us to uppercut Grandma.
I don't know. Depends. Is Grandma Pai-chan?
You know she won't be.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
But yeah,
All right.
looking at the Virtua Fighter Crossroads, I can't help but think, man, I hope the VF6 is good.
Unless Virtua Fighter 6 makes some serious changes to the Virtua Fighter formula, I don't think it's going to be a situation of like, oh man, Virtua Fighter 6, fucking love it, can't wait to hop on. Like at the end of the day, it's not the game that's for you or me.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I fucked up because 7 is the next DOA, but whatever.
Yes. DOA 7 is probably going to be a good time unless they have also followed Tekken's patterns and decided, man, you know what 3D fighters were missing? Crazy over the top special moves where you make the other guy explode.
Yeah, I'm thinking
Like,
I'm thinking the other way where like they also had World Tour, but like when you do a roundhouse kick, your boobs jiggle, even the men's.
God, with Bass, like that, the amount of jiggle that Bass would have to do.
Yeah. And like
Oh
considering
boy.
that before this, DOA was sentenced to the fucking dating sim dimension, you would assume that they can write some story. So
Well, God, how much of the story is going to boil down? Like, here's the thing: if they want to do a world tour mode, I would imagine a lot of it would be centered around play as a dude kung fu artist and romance the dead or alive girls, because that's a lot of what they want to do with Dead or Alive. But like, the idea of playing through a Dead or Alive story mode as a guy is like unnatural in my head, unless that guy is Ryu Hayabusa, who is like not horny at all.
yeah, you have and fight all of the women who want to fuck you.
And like at least 2 or 3 of the women on the roster are his fucking cousins.
Yeah. Alternatively, play as any of the women and play Rumble Roses.
And like, correct me if I'm wrong, Hayabusa in Dead or Alive still has his canon girlfriend from the Ninja Gaiden games. What's her name? The secret agent girl.
I didn't know he had a girlfriend.
Yes. She was originally in the NES games and she was taken hostage or whatever, and the point of the NES games was to save her. And then later on, in the Xbox trilogy, like she's not in the first Ninja Gaiden, but she pops up in Ninja Gaiden 2 and helps Hayabusa at several points, and she's like in disguise or something.
Later on, MI6 went, man, she's really good at getting kidnapped. We should hire her.
Yes.
So yeah, like Virtua Fighter 6 looks good. It looks very interesting. I'm interested. On the other hand, I'm also aware that every time I played a Virtua Fighter, I have come away going, man, I want to play Dead or Alive instead. So and like that's no fault of Virtua Fighter. I mean, that I suppose if you would want to be really dickish, then I suppose it's fault of Virtua Fighter. But like, I'm just not the intended audience, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What's gonna be weird is when we get to DOA 7 and like a quarter of the roster isn't made up of Virtua Fighter characters.
yeah, it's gonna be weird playing DOA 7 and there's no Jackie.
Yeah. When they clearly wanted you to be thinking about Sarah.
Yeah.
Well, the comical thing is, like, like outside of oh god, who's the creepy girl that they keep playing fast and loose about her age because they don't want to admit how young she's supposed to be?
Ah, fuck. Shit.
Rose? Mary Rose.
Maybe? I don't remember.
I think it's Mary Rose. Uh outside of her, like, the only DOA characters in DOA 5 that are actually modestly proportioned are Sarah and Pai-chan. So if they're gone, DOA goes back to being a world where, like, no, all women are shaped like that except Mary Rose, I guess.
You know, I'm gonna miss my favorite DOA characters though. Jackie Bryant, Mai Shiranui. Uh,
Mine's probably coming back.
true.
Like, mine and Cool are probably still gonna be there. That's the bizarre part, because like SNK is just like, yeah, fuck it. Why use our characters, please? Anything to keep Mai and Kula away from Ronaldo.
Imagine if the 07 is like, hey, we're adding guests. What the guests? Mai Shiranui, Chun-Li.
Oh my god. That could finally get Pink to buy into DOA.
Yeah. I mean, shit, Chun wouldn't be a charge character in DOA, so...
No, she wouldn't. Chun would be difficult for the DOA team, though, because, like, you can't make Chun-Li have the same body shape as Kasumi. You just can't.
I think...
Like, it's not right. If
like,
you see Chun-Li with skinny legs, you're like, what is going on here? That's not Chun-Li.
I think...
That's Kasumi wearing a Chun-Li costume.
Like, I think in DOA... Like, have you seen... What can I really, like, compare this to? Whatever. Let's go with that one. You remember the like, enemy robot in RoboCop?
Oh, ED-209 or something?
Yes, him. Like, I feel like Chun-Li's legs will be proportioned like that. Like, if you just slept a woman's torso on him.
See, you and me are coming at things from different perspectives, though, different assumptions about the DOA team. You're assuming the DOA team is respectful of all forms of horniness and is going, Chun-Li is the queen for thigh guys. We need to make Chun-Li have monster thighs, even beyond, like, God, what game had Chun-Li's thighs at their biggest? Was it 5?
It was 5.
Yeah, because my memory is that, like, there was one game where Chun-Li's, I believe it was 5, where Chun-Li's thighs are bigger than Zangief's arms.
Yes. I mean, like, my thing is that, like, my assumption going into DOA is that if the DOA team got to put Chun-Li in a game, then they would proportion her the way I think Mai Shiranui should be proportioned. Which is to say that like she's thick on the bottom side and also has big tits, because that's what the DOA people are into.
They're not, though. They're actually really small on the bottom side.
No, not the bottom, the top.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Like, I think it would be we have to make Chun-Li's thighs big because that's her defining feature, and then also just give her uncharacteristically big breasts because that's what they are into.
She was pretty well endowed in 5. You remember the bug at Street Fighter V's launch where the jiggle physics were wrong?
Do you remember the bug at Street Fighter 6's launch where she was naked?
That wasn't 6, that was 5.
Okay.
Always a good shout, though. God bless that guy. Accidentally putting his own porn on blast, and everyone else going, "Oh, what the fuck?" and just getting flashbanged.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Mai's comical because Mai changed so much within her own series. Because like when you go from the when you go from the way she looks in 96, KOF 96, right? Or the way she looks in the Fatal Fury games, she's very modestly proportioned.
Yeah.
The thing that was sexy about Mai was the fact that she was showing so much of it. But like, I remember like, and whenever you go to the wiki trivia, the little trivia parts of every wiki page, and inevitably they always compare measurements and shit. I remember the gimmick was like, oh, well, actually, King and Vice and Mature are actually like, they have crazier proportions, but mine's just showing more skin. Like, I don't know, whatever. Then jump cut to KF13, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Bust size? Yes.
In both categories, like, people often forget about this, but her ass is also colossal in that game.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when I think of my Shiranui in the modern times, that 13 is probably the one I go to because that's like that is her character. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, and that kind of just wound up sticking because, like, I don't think that she's ever been as huge or as explicit about it as KO13. I don't think she ever will be again because KO13 quite famously was the point where SNK said, fuck it, we're just going to do what we want. Damn the consequences.
Yeah.
But KOF 14, 15, my Street Fighter 6, my is still way more bodacious than she was back in the day. And, like, it's not like a lot of characters did get their bodies exaggerated with time. I'm so glad they toned it down with Terry.
Yeah.
Because, like, Beef Monster Terry in KOF 13 looks wrong. Like, Street Fighter 6 is, like, I think, as fighting game body proportions go, kind of the king. Because 5 went a bit over the top with some characters. And the men, like, weren't as differentiated as they could have been. 6, like, everyone has a unique body type. Like, the only ones that are similar, like, okay, Ryu and Ken look kind of similar body type wise, but I mean, no shit, that's kind of the point of those two.
Yeah. I mean, my only complaint with the body types and shit is that Akuma looks like he's not done cooking. Like the clay on him hasn't set. But
To me, Akuma's skin texture in 6 looks like he's made out of wood and like tree bark. I don't know what his deal is.
he's one of those fucking car statues that he makes when he wins the fight.
That'd be a reveal. They cut to at some point Akuma's house, and Akuma's like there, and his skin looks normal, and the other character's like, "Well, that's weird. Why does your skin look normal now, Akuma?" And Akuma's like, "What do you mean?" And it cuts to like the shadows behind the guy visiting Akuma, and there's the fucking statue Akuma.
Yeah.
You play the little prowler sound effect from Spider-Verse.
I bestow all of my wooden statue selves 10% of my power.
I can't lie, I got bored this time.
Yeah.
It just hasn't felt the same since Gin died of a heart attack. And then didn't.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm doing this anymore. I keep killing people and they keep coming back.
Yeah.
I have nightmares of you. Nightmares.
At this point, shouldn't Guile be going to Akuma and going, please kill Charlie. Please kill Charlie. When you do it, it doesn't stick.
Maybe next time, because this time I did Guile's thing because I went through unlocking all the characters that I actually used the second outfit with. I unlocked their outfits before I uninstalled World Tour, and what Guile says about Charlie is Charlie died twice. I think it's sticking this time.
Yep.
No.
The dialogue, they have to give Thor an Infinity War of like, okay, this is like the 4th time I've watched Loki die, but I think this time it's for reals, yo.
Yeah. But
God, I'm reminded of like a
yeah.
dialogue from an X-Men comic where Cyclops, when he's complaining about all the times Jean has died, like he just explicitly says, I can't even really mourn because she comes back. But then I lose her again.
I mean, that's true. But it's really
It
funny.
It is. Oh, shit.
So anyway,
yeah, like
Shinkiro set up to make a painting that actually breaks the internet in Italy.
Oh, okay. Okay. I was like, where are we going here?
I mean, you know, if he does the whatchamacallit, the CVS2 art with a 3-way, with this 3-way.
God, yeah, you're right. I mean, the odds were I would expect the odds more so would just be that she would do it with Chun-Li, but if they did do it with Mai, how would you even paint that angle wise? You'd have to be behind at least one of the women,
That or
and
you
unless
do
you're doing it top down.
you do it a bit from above. So they're still like it's just above eye level, so you see all the details, but they're also still all staring at the camera more or less.
What do they still all three have the pose where they're pushing their arms back to
Yes,
press their chest out?
yes.
Oh boy.
Like
So yeah,
if that becomes official art, I think we can just stop Street Fighter because we're not selling more copies.
that would be inadvertently SNK's best marketing since Terry getting into Smash.
I thought you were gonna say that would be SNK's best marketing since Terry slapped those asses.
See, that's the trick is that you make it a GIF and then add Terry in his motorcycle driving in a circle around them, just doing it over and over.
Yeah.
You can't even see him half the time. You just hear slapping sound effects.
So yes, Street Fighter 6 Season 4 was revealed. It's Tifa, Yasmin, Arjun, and Bosch.
The funny thing about this is that I think you and I are both kind of mad about this, but on opposite sides.
Not exactly, but close enough, yes.
Because I don't know about you, I'm looking at this going like, oh, why is Tifa here? This is so fucking stupid.
Yeah. I mean, my thing with Tifa is that, like, I don't think she belongs. That's about it, actually. Like, I'm not angry about it, but I don't think she belongs. You know? And then also the other three. And even with
I
the
said
other
this
three,
2
yeah?
weeks ago. Oh, go ahead.
Like, even with the other three, my thing isn't that they're all new characters. Well, sans Bosch. Like, my actual only one problem with this is Bosch. He shouldn't be here. He should be fucking dead. I don't want that fucker in my game. But he should be replaced by a third new character.
I do agree on that. Yeah, I'm fine with Bosch, but I think a third new character would have been more interesting at that point.
Yeah. And so yeah, uh, like Bosch is my actual like big thing of I don't like this. But also, like doing this, if the characters were released sooner, or if we got information about them faster, it would be one thing. Because then I can actually take a look at these characters and decide if I'm interested or not. As things are, I have no reason to play Street Fighter 6 for a year.
Yeah, that is one thing that's definitely very brutal about this. And I will say, I wasn't even thinking of her going into it. I didn't mention her the 2 weeks ago. I don't, or at least I don't think I did. But man, seeing the art, then people post of the doodles, people post of Makoto like just deep in her cups, trying to deal with the pain.
Yeah. And then, like, for the actual new characters, like,
Alpha and
yeah,
3 stay locked in the shadow dimension on
yes.
6. I don't know what the deal is.
Especially Alpha. 3 has 2 characters. Alpha has fucking none.
Yeah.
Fighting Gen got a
Alpha only
character.
can vaguely claim Kimberly. That's it. And that's not the character you wanted to come back from Alpha either.
Yeah.
That's my character from Alpha.
Yeah. And like with the other new characters, the actual new characters, Yasmin looks interesting, but also when I saw her, I thought she was a character from fucking Valorant. So
Yeah.
like I thought
I
she was a Riot crossover character, and like I don't think that bodes well for her in the long run, at least with me. And Arjun looks not like nothing. We know nothing about him, and he looks the most base just guy. So like he could go
yeah.
anyway.
I think if they get real weird with it with Arjun, it could be interesting. But I think they're damned both ways with Arjun. Because either he is just Kung Fu Man, in which case it's like, oh god damn it, we got plenty of these guys in Street Fighter 4 and 5. Did we really need Abel again? Or alternatively, they're going to make his whole sucking in air mechanic really weird and have him puff out his chest and look like a huge freak. In which case, people are going to go, oh, god damn it, didn't Street Fighter 3 and Street Fighter 4 have enough freak weirdos that nobody wants to play? So either Arjun's going to get tossed in the generic pile with Abel and people won't ever want to see him again, or he's going to get tossed in the freak pile with Necro and Hakan and nobody's going to want to ever see him again.
Yeah.
My bet is the freak pile because of how comically large he looks in the season pass art. And also the fact that they specifically say his whole story thing is Dalsim taught him yoga techniques to inhale and exhale. And it's like, oh, okay, so he's going to, okay. Here's the thing gameplay-wise, is Arjun's bound to be a new Hakan. I did ask for Hakan, and I almost kind of received, not quite the way I wanted, but whatever. But he's going to be the new Hakan in terms of, he's probably going to be a grappler with a really fucking weird gimmick. And instead of it being Hakan's oiling up gimmick, he's probably going to have a Blaze Blue Rachel Alucard style gimmick of he can move you forwards and backwards on the screen. And from then there, he'll probably try and go for command grab pressure. There you go.
So Iron Taker.
Yeah. Iron Taker or apparently Tokon's version of Storm as well. Yeah. So, I'm kind of assuming that unlike Taker, though, he won't have to like put anything on you to make it where he can manipulate you, though.
Yeah. Like genuinely, I think like that's the thing. My problems with the season pass are minor, but they compound. You know.
Yeah.
Because the lack of information, not something that any of the characters' fault. That's just how Street Fighter 6 does things. Bosch being here,
yeah.
I don't like him. Whatever. Arjun looks like nothing. He could go either way. He's not a minus or a plus. Yasmin, like I said, I simultaneously like her design and don't like her design. Also, I don't like that she has a weapon.
I don't either. At first, I thought it was an honest to god proper knife that stabs people.
Me too.
And I was thinking like, oh, that was already really bizarre when Cody would do it. But upon further inspection of the character art, it looks like it's blunted. It looks like it's really more like a blunted hook.
Yeah.
Which makes sense if she's going to have a martial art that's built around wrapping it around wrists or necks or other various joints and using the using the torque to put people in holds, break limbs, or body slam them or whatever. But it's still really kind of weird because, like, other than oddballs like Vega and Cody, Street Fighter tends not to have characters use not even weapons, but tools.
Yeah, I mean, the only one in the current game is Lily. And Lily has weapons because she doesn't have the wingspan of her dad. That's the
Lily's
reason.
Like one of those cases. Yeah, Lily's one of those cases where like nobody really minds Lily using weapons because it makes sense. Is like, oh, everybody in the Street Fighter universe is just like, yeah, it's fine that Lily uses clubs because she's so tiny.
Yeah.
Like otherwise, she just wouldn't have the reach necessary to fight.
Yeah, but like something about Yasmin, like I don't know, just rubs me the wrong way. She's a modern design definitely, but in the ways that I don't like, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
And Tifa's also there. Like she just shouldn't be here.
Tifa, like I'm glad we got Tifa out of Final Fantasy over literally anyone else, but I preferred to have gotten no one from Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a big Final Fantasy guy. Final Fantasy is one of those series that's like, maybe someday I'll get around to it. But, like, I also just don't like Square. So, I don't like seeing Capcom play ball with them, you know? Yeah. I don't want any part of my enjoyment of Street Fighter to be dependent on Square because I don't trust Square.
Yeah.
And I remember how, like, how goofy shit got with Cloud and Smash Brothers. and that they were only allowed to put in one Final Fantasy song because of Square being a bunch of fucking corporate goofballs. And I just worry looking at this like, oh man, is Tifa gonna like feel half finished in some ways like Cloud did in Smash because Square corporate is just Square?
Yeah. The funnier one for this, I mean,
Grandpa takes a shit in the corner and we all have to live with it and we all have to breathe it in.
Yeah. The funnier one for actual like company relations would have been Sora. Just because I don't know if you've heard about this. So do you know what Nintendo had to do to get Sora in Smash?
God, I can only imagine it was something stupid.
So, because of how the character rights are and how everything works together, Sora is licensed from Disney because he's a Disney character. But they also had to separately like go and have a working relationship with Nomura so that they know what they can and cannot include about his moves in the games. So like Square had, as far as I'm aware, Square had little to do with it. It was literally just Disney plus Nomura that they had to get the stuff from to get Sora in Smash.
Well, God, Square's one of the only companies more incompetent. It's like, shit, I'd rather work Disney.
Yeah.
That's bizarre though to think that like, yeah, no, that Disney is considered Sora's proper daddy. Because like in my head, it's like, well, what if deals ever fall through between Disney and Square and they don't play ball with each other anymore? Does
Hearts is
Disney
dead.
continue to be like, what'd you say?
I said Kingdom Hearts is dead.
Well, Kingdom Hearts is dead for one thing, but on top of that, like, would Disney still like try and sell some Sora merch or reference him in some way?
It's
Or
difficult
would
to
it just
say
honestly be
because
like, we're throwing him in the vault next to Oswald the Lucky Rabbit?
yeah. It's difficult to say because they just now recently started selling Kingdom Hearts merch, and that's also because. So this is another funny thing with this. So up until recently, Square was selling Kingdom Hearts merch, except Square's licensing agreement to license Kingdom Hearts merchandise expired. So
Of
now
course.
Disney is selling Kingdom Hearts merch that they make at Disney parks.
Okay, do they have at least a deal with Square though to sell like action figures of like Squall?
No.
Okay, now you know me. You know that it's one of the strongly held opinions I have that I feel the Final Fantasy license is important to the identity of Kingdom Hearts, and it always annoys me when they try to divorce the two. But that's bugs the shit out of me to handle Kingdom Hearts. Like, no, it's Sora and then nothing but Disney characters. Like,
Well, no.
no, fuck you. Final
It's
Fantasy
Sora.
was very important to those first two games.
It's Sora, all the original characters, because everyone that Nomura has made is also a Disney character, mind you, and then also all of the Disney characters.
Oh yeah, I remember my favorite fucking Disney character. I can't wait to go go to Disney World Park and get Kingdom Hearts merch of Sykes or
Yeah.
Zigbar.
See, those you might actually get merch of. You could shout out fucking well-known names like Zexion, but what was I gonna say?
Oh god,
Like
wasn't
it's
Zach Fair supposed to be really important to Birth by Sleep?
I mean, not really important. He has a parallel with Aqua, and like they tease that they might start dating if they don't both die, which they then do. So you know,
Aqua didn't die.
well, no, she just got sent to hell for 10 years.
Well, it builds character.
But yeah, like
Didn't
yeah.
the main Final Fantasy VII canon imply at one point they're going to bring back Zack Fair?
Rebirth is doing something with that, but I don't, or the remakes are doing something with that, but I'm not sure what because I only played through the first part.
Okay, yeah. Oh Jesus.
But yeah, what was I gonna say? Like the merchandising with Kingdom Hearts stuff in Disney is also really weird because ever since that merchandising licensing agreement fell through with Square, Disney has been like, okay, so the Kingdom Key is now in Disney Shorts. If you go to Disney World, then in the Mickey Mouse Playhouse, he has a Keyblade. Go to the shop and buy Sora merch.
I mean, a large contingent, I bet you, a large contingent of modern Disney adults, a lot of their love is going to originate with Kingdom Hearts, I would say.
It's hard to say. Because like
It
my
is.
generation was still like still there for some of the Disney Renaissance because of VHS cassettes and stuff like that, and then we also had Kingdom Hearts. And like, flash forward to now, no VHS cassettes, no Kingdom Hearts. Anyway,
Yeah.
so yeah, Tifa, they did say that she has materia. Uh,
Yes.
Tifa is confirmed to be isekai'd into Street Fighter. She gets hit by Truck-kun, and then breaks up in Street Fighter.
Which is weird to think about happening at some point in Final Fantasy VII. Are they in the middle of the Mako reactor and Truck-kun just clips through the walls to hit Tifa?
What they say is that on their journey, Tifa falls through a portal. So it's literally just like you're walking through let's say the big like red rocky canyons with the railroad, which is a shot for people who played Final Fantasy VII, and that's not you. But
Yeah. I am aware there is some point where you're wandering through the wilds in that game, which apparently is the point in the game that they were depicting in Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 3.
yeah, so yeah, you're walking through the railroad part, and then like everyone's just running from the enemies and whatever, and then one got off the camera. Tifa's there, and the next one she's not, and no one notices somehow.
They didn't like her anyways.
Yeah,
Cloud's just like, all right, guess I'll fuck Barrett. Hey, Cloud, man, what are you doing?
uh, you, you can do that, but you can fuck Barrett.
No,
But
I know, that's why I made the reference.
which that
But I
would have been
cracked the joke.
that's in Rebirth, I think, or well, that would be in Rebirth. My knowledge of the fucking FF7 is from the original, so
I'm informed enough of FF7 to know that that there's the date event, and that you can choose to date any of the 3 female party members or Barrett.
yeah. And then Barrett is like, "Yo, Cloud, that's cool. Why the fuck did you not invite any of the girls?"
Yeah.
And then the Ferris wheel goes by. You don't hear any more of
The
the
Ferris wheel
conversation.
itself leaves?
Well, no, you're on the Ferris wheel, and it's in a specific camera angle, and they come up. They waited like Barrett waited 15 minutes for the Ferris wheel to go up to like the middle, and then he asks this question, and Clyde just looks at him, and then the Ferris wheel just leaves.
The moment was so gay, the Ferris wheel got up and left.
Yeah. Whatever happens at the Golden Saucer stays at the Golden Saucer.
Yeah. Oh boy.
So anyway, yeah, like yeah, that's basically my problems with this. Of like, I genuinely was like, well, the Steam Summer Sale is coming up, but also Street Fighter Season 4, and like genuinely, I feel like with like just because the lack of information, I feel like this is worse than the leaked lineup, because at least in the leaked lineup, I know how Hagar play. Fucking, I know how Hagar plays. I know how Goken plays. I know how Vega plays.
I mm.
And like,
See, I'm so fiercely opposed to Goken coming in at all. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know.
I'll
Well, my
take.
biggest problem with either list is Tifa, though.
I mean, I'll take Goken over Bosch. You know.
God, it's really going to depend on how they all play for me. But well, no, excuse me. I shouldn't say it's not going to be on it because for Tifa it doesn't matter. Tifa, everything about her game design could be designed perfectly for me. I'm not going to latch onto her because every time I see her, I'm like, you should not be here.
Yeah.
Like it's the same thing as like Darth Vader and Yoda and Starkiller popping up in Soul Calibur 4. Though Soul Calibur 4 is also stupid and an insult to my intelligence and an insult to me as a Soul Calibur fan, even without those Star Wars characters. So at that point, I'm like, fuck it. We're obviously already in clown land. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Tifa being here, it's like, you have no reason to be here other than, man, Final Fantasy VII's popular.
Yeah.
So, like, I'm not going to like her. When she's going to come out, I'm going to say, this is dumb. She shouldn't be here. When we do our session of Street Fighter 6 after she launches, I'm going to spend the whole time going, she shouldn't be here.
See, like,
But for the other,
like
go ahead.
foreseeably, unless Yasmin and Arjun are really fucking sick, which, like, there's a chance for that. But unless that happens, for these 4 characters as they come out, or session playing Street Fighter 6 will be, Pink is probably playing Tifa, and I'm gonna play Ingrid, probably to nerf myself, and that's just gonna be it for all of them. Of like, one of the two of you play the new characters if you actually buy the season pass, and I won't.
Well, that's going to be on me to play all of them except Tifa, because Pink's not going to buy any of those except Tifa.
Yeah.
You know what? The only other, he might be amused by Arjun being so, if Arjun's like really rubbery, he might be amused by that, but he's not going to go for Yasmin. Yasmin's not his type.
Yeah. I was like, as things are, like, I will probably pick up the season pass like 2 years from now when it's on sale. I am not paying full price for this.
Yeah, I mean, I'll continue to support Street Fighter 6 because I'm very happy with where Street Fighter 6 has gone so far, and I do think that I will enjoy Arjun. Yasmin and Bosch, it's both completely up in the air. But I will say, this is the second season in a row where it's like, well, I'll play 3 of these 4, but that 4th one, nah, not for me, pal. Because last season was also like, all right, Sagat, sure. Sea Viper, sure. Alex, fuck yes. Ingrid, I'm happy for Addie. Oh, boy. All right, what else we got?
I'm checking. Just stuff for Virtual Fighter 6, which, yeah. Oh shit.
What?
So one of the narrative supervisors for Virtual Fighter 6 is David Hayter.
Yes, I saw this. Which David Hayter has like a weird legacy as a writer.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of adaptation. He wrote the first X-Men movie. The first X-Men movie is not very good. He also screen wrote the adaptation of Watchmen by Zack Snyder. That I simultaneously almost want to say that gives me some confidence in David Hayter, and at the same time it doesn't. Because on one hand, it wouldn't have been that much work. On the other hand, it wouldn't have been that much work for good reason, which is they actually stayed very faithful to Watchmen. And people will split hairs and get anal about some changes to the dialogue. Because and even I hate the pointless dialogue addition of having Dr. Manhattan say, "Does the world really need another shopping mall?" But comparative to literally any other comic book adaptation of film, Snyder's Watchmen is a stunningly faithful rendition. So I will give Hater credit for that. Of like, he made the rare decision to not go, I can make this better. Other than a few small places, which he apparently did, and it didn't need it. But actually had the maturity to go, nope, not changing this. It's good. It's beloved for a reason. We're adapting it for a reason because it is good on its own. It doesn't need to be changed.
Yeah.
But yeah, for Virtua Fighter 6, I don't know. That's an odd pick. It feels almost kind of like they're not putting him in that role because they want him to write it. It feels like they're putting him in that role because hey, it's the guy who voiced Snake.
I mean,
You know?
see though, like he's not he's not the lead writer or anything like that. He's the world building supervisor.
Oh God. Oh boy, that's gonna be weird. God, he comes from a world of very complicated world building.
Yeah.
Like Virtual Fighter needs a world builder. Fundamentally, I think that's what you and I can agree is holy shit, does Virtual Fighter have no world building whatsoever. It is Kung Fu Man and Kung Fu Man and Kung Fu Man, and then Dural is there, and she's some kind of weird robot T1000 thing, but it's never really explained, and no one really seems to care that she's a weird robot T1000 thing. They just kind of let her be.
Yeah.
Like, Virtual Fighter lacks anything to make its world interesting, comparative to, let's say, Street Fighter. So it definitely needed a world builder. At the same time, David Hayter comes from a world of like crazy internecine conspiracies and sci-fi tech deep underground bases. That's like, okay, Dural fits into that. But seeing Akira Yuki kung fu his way through a cybernetic underground sci-fi base is kind of weird in my head.
See, like if they could write it in a way where I could believe it. You know, there is a world where that is not weird, but they need to work for it.
Yeah.
But like also, so here's the narrative team. It's David Hayter on world building, Brett Kane as the lead writer, who worked on Ghost of Tsushima,
Okay.
Tsuyoshi Furuta as a scenario director, uh, Yakuza guy,
Okay.
Shinji Yamamoto on the scenario, who's worked on Shin Megami Tensei and Persona.
Oh boy, this plot's gonna be going places.
Yep.
Oh shit. God, how many times would these writings have had to go back and forth across the fucking language barrier?
Twice, because two of them are American and two of them are Japanese.
Like, that's also. This is also, like, insane because, like, okay, Brad Kane, Ghost of Tsushima is a very simple, practical story about characters going through character arcs and dealing with the troubles they have, their philosophies with the world and with themselves.
Yeah.
Ghost of Tsushima is not a plot that I would say gets lost in being overly complicated. Ghost of Tsushima has a mission, it achieves it, and it goes home. And I mean all of this is praise. And then I hear Yakuza, and Yakuza's like, oh my god, well, Yakuza is like, goes all over the place. And Yakuza is very soapy. Yakuza likes its soap opera melodrama type of stuff.
Yeah.
Yakuza is the sort of plot line where you get the soap opera stuff of I'm about to confess my love to you, but oh no, my dead ex-husband who has been dead for 3 years and I've never mentioned up until this point comes back and he's here with a gun and an eye patch to say, actually, I've been waiting all this time because I knew you would try to get with someone else when I'm dead, you whore. But then also there's secretly a ship in the bay that is armed with nukes, and those nukes are illegal. But then we need to settle all of this with a fist fight in a small room.
It's also okay because the nukes are made of rubber.
Yeah. the fucking people that got nuked put it over.
Yeah.
They were just like, oh, hell, a rubber nuke. I got to make this look serious. But don't worry, none of us died, but he'll go to prison anyways, not knowing.
Yeah.
He'll go to The Hague and be tried for war crimes. We'll just keep mum about it. Oh, shit. And then you slap on top of all that Shin Megami Tensei writing. Which, like, Shin Megami, like, here's the thing. There was 2 ingredients for success there.
Okay, actually,
Yakuza's
give me a sec. So I need to note which games specifically this guy worked on in Shin Megami Tensei.
Okay, that's important.
So, Raido Kuzunoha 2, Shin Megami Tensei 4,
Oh,
Persona
okay,
3, Persona 4 Dancing All Night,
okay.
Persona 5, Persona 5 Royale.
That's kind of all over the place. That could go any which way, but it's going to get pretty wacky for conspiracies and stuff.
Yeah, which I'm down for.
Yeah, I'm down for that, by all means. You said Raido Kazanaha for a little bit, and I was about to feel like, oh shit! The secret kung fu villain is going to be Rasputin.
The Rock has been replaced by
Which,
Hitler.
I can't lie, I kind of would pop for that. The basis for Dural was Rasputin all along.
And it's specifically World Heroes Rasputin. I mean, I'd pop for that.
Oh shit. Yeah, that's God. I mean, we're probably going to find out later on who did what, but for now, this sounds insane. This sounds like it's going to be the Ghost of Tsushima writer the cohesive element I see here is that David Hayter and Shin Megami Tensei Man both are probably like, yeah, a government conspiracy would go well with this. But other than that, like Yakuza Man is gonna be getting wacky with it, and Tsushima Man is gonna be like, I don't know. I think Kiriyuki just kind of needs to solve the conflict with his own inner self. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I'll tell you about the other stuff that Ghost of Tsushima Man has done. Maybe you know them, so they give you better basis. So he was a writer of Ghost of Tsushima, lead writer on As Dusk Falls, and writer / co-producer on You vs. the Wild, or You vs. Wild Out Cold.
I've never heard of either of those other games.
I don't think those are games. I think those are TV series.
Yeah, a lot of guys that are going to get into those kinds of positions writing for AAA games are actually TV writers or movie writers that can't cut it. So instead, they get brought into the video game stuff, which is not an indictment of them as writers, because generally speaking, if you get to write in big movies and big TV, that doesn't necessarily mean you're talented. As a matter of fact, many of them are hacks. It just means that their uncle's a producer.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, if you're a writer who is actually talented but not related to anyone important, you have to keep cutting it, either writing video games or writing lower grade TV or just writing books.
Yeah.
Which writing books is kind of the smart decision, because then you don't have to deal with a producer fucking you. On the other hand, that's the one that like is going to pay the worst unless you get to be a big star like Stephen King or George Martin.
Yeah. Let me tell you, dude. At least in Hungarian, but I mean, in general, because they also made me read English books. There is no one in film who knows literature. There is no one who knows how you fucking write a book. And all of the instructional things that I read, or like just fail on the basis of how you even just write criticisms. Not even a book, just criticisms.
Yep. There's a lot of bad writing advice that goes around these days.
That's not even writing advice.
I don't.
Just like in general, the way that the books are structured, they are incorrect. Like if you actually showed them to someone who knows how to put a book together, they would rip it apart, because if you're trying to be instructional, it's too personal. If you're trying to write an opinion piece, then it's too fucking dry.
Yep. All right.
I remember one of the assignments I got was read this entire book and write a report on it, and my entire report was ripping the book apart literally, and it was the professor's favorite book, and his only note was, I wanted to read more. I got an A. So yeah.
All right.
So anyway, fighting games. Rick Stroud is back.
I never thought it would happen. I thought Vanessa had condemned him to the shadow of the dimension.
But see, Vanessa is in KOF. He's a KOF character.
I know, but it still kind of felt like even if they were gonna be like, we kind of want a boxer type character in Fatal Fury, they would go like, well, Vanessa exists in both timelines.
Yeah.
I mean, Robert's here. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah. Then again, Robert.
Never mind that. Chun-Li and Ken are here. Fuck it, why not?
True. Fucking Ronaldo and what's his face? Bitch ass DJ. They're here.
Ugh. I'm glad Rick Stroud is back from the dead. This is his first game, and God, was he in Neo Geo Battle Coliseum?
No, I don't think so.
And this is his first game in 30 years, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's crazy. Shit. I'm glad to see he's back. All right. Hey, KF16, SNK, please recycle assets. I want a boxing team. Give me the team of Vanessa, Rick Stroud, and Heavy D.
Okay,
and they all play the exact same and use the same animation.
I was about to say, okay, but Heavy D now uses the same animations as Vanessa and has the same moveset. Like, it's just...
Yes, and Billy and Heavy D will both, after their supers, like, wring out their hands and go, oh, that hurt. The same way Vanessa does.
Yeah. Like, I'm also imagining that they don't like it, because usually when you just apply the animations, well, it depends on how you set up the skeletons beforehand when rigging the models, but, like, you know, I'm assuming that they would need to do some minor adjustment of the bones where they sit, but they don't do that. So...
No, so Heavy D and Billy Stroud, both, even though they have bigger heads than Vanessa, their eyes and their nose and their mouth try to constrain themselves to Vanessa's size, so they wind up with those tiny little faces. Like,
yeah,
they get like the stupid John Cena GIF face where his face is shrinking.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, hey, yeah, they haven't shown any gameplay of them, but they just showed a 20-second little teaser that was a cartoon, but still cool.
Yeah. You know, sometimes City of the Wolves goes on sale, and the devil on my shoulder is like, well, the beta was fun, and you know, it has a good price, and then the angel on my shoulder is like,
Ronaldinho success. I thought we found out Ronaldinho was not Ronaldo.
Yeah, no, they're a different guy.
Okay.
But close enough. For the sake of the bit, close enough.
If we ever find Ronaldinho, we'll just beat him up and imagine it's Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
So anyway,
yeah,
I believe that's all of the news.
All right. Oh, Pink's gonna be popping hard. They just announced Stronghold 4.
Ah.
All right. Well, is there anything else regarding the Summer Games Fest and PlayStation something that you wanted to talk about, or like a topic that was relevant to it?
I'm checking. But it doesn't seem quite like that yet. Because it's stuff like, you know, the game director for Virtua Fighter 6 said that he wants the game to be a major success. Like, yes. That's how... that is how business works, yes.
I would like to make money and not lose money. I had to think long and hard about this one, boys.
Oh, apparently Virtua Fighter 6 is rated mature, allegedly.
Yes, I heard about this. That raises some questions because, like, under what context would Virtua Fighter possibly invoke blood and gore?
Yeah. This character, Scorpion.
I was about to crack a joke. If Akira Yuki inputs this highly specific input that requires this direction, that direction, like it's not just the pretzel, but also it has to be an exact 1 frame window that you tap the button, and you can't hold it for any longer than 1 frame. If you do specifically that, and it's the last hit of the last round of the last match, then and only then, Akira Yuki will do like a nice gentle little knee lift that causes the opponent's spine to explode out of their neck.
Yeah.
And then just to further secure the M rating, Akira Yuki then takes his pants off. That's just win post.
Yeah, like in the same way that in Alpha, if you kill someone with the whatchamacallit, the Taco Bell with Ingrid, she'd go into her midnight bliss. Akira Yuki changes into the fucking Resident Evil 4 Leon, like born mod bunny boy outfit with his cock out.
Yeah. With the tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Is I'm too mean poison on Resident Evil. I just thought then like Jackie Bryant's in the background. Karaoke, fuck my sister, continue the Bryant bloodline.
I think Resident Evil 4 remake has ruined both Resident Evil and Leon for me. I was like, I like Leon, but like every time I think of him, I can still think of him for one outside of that outfit, and for two, going, oh no, I died.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always been bad about Leon, to be honest, going back to the original Resident Evil 4, where rather notorious, his death sounds also sound like he just came.
Uh-huh.
There's oh, yeah, have you never played the original Resident Evil 4? Quick
No.
question. Okay. Yeah, it's honest to God, his death noises are mostly
I see.
It's ridiculous. But furthermore, people hornying up on Leon and making it look really weird. It actually was weirder with the Resident Evil 2 remake. Were you there for a lot of the nonsense that surrounded that, social media wise?
No.
Okay, it not only was popular to do what they did in Resident Evil 4 and put Leon in a thong, but on top of that, to also put Mr. X in a thong.
Oh. I mean, see, that's the thing though. Leon wasn't in a thong when I'm talking the one in what I'm talking about. It was legitimately like. Do you remember, in Tekken 6? I think it was also in Tech 2, but Lee has a on S&M outfit where it's like these short shorts and these like I don't know, like bondage, like things that are supposed to keep his legs in one position, and then like a shirt that restricts his chest movement, but it also shows his midriff off and stuff like that.
You know what? Okay, in my head, at first I thought of Lei Wulong. I was like, why would they have given Lei Wulong a BDSM outfit? It took me a second, like, no, Lee. You know,
Yeah.
like, oh no, wait, no, that makes more sense. That makes more sense. I don't know why, but Tekken just loves to give those weird outfits to Lee. They just do.
He's canonically metrosexual, which
Yeah.
wasn't a thing and still isn't. But sure, whatever.
God, Resident Evil has got to be the only fucking game franchise where it's more famous that people mod the game to make the men look corny than make the men look sexy than the women.
Oh yeah, and I didn't finish. So you know the outfit I'm talking about, right? With Tekken.
Vaguely.
Okay. So imagine that outfit, but without the short shorts. There's nothing in there. And that is the first bit of fucking modded Resident Evil 4 that I saw with Leon.
See, I'd seen ones where all they did was slap the cat ears on him and then rolled up his shirt a little bit to reveal a tramp stamp, and he had a G-string on coming up out of the top of his pants.
Oh no,
That's a little more subtle.
yeah, that's a bit more subtle. No, this was like legitimately they fucking rigged up his dick so that it would flap.
Okay, I was aware that this was tech because I have traumatized in my head. Mr. X already traumatizes you even in his default outfit, but I do specifically remember this popular mod for a while, and people kept posting gifs and clips of it on social media of Mr. X in a G string,
Oh,
and they fucking modeled in a comically large bulge with ridiculous physics effects going nuts.
I see.
So somehow, even though I wasn't aware of it for Resident Evil 4 remake, I was aware this was a thing that people could achieve with the RE engine, and I find it kind of stunning that we've not quite seen that much level of modding, horny modding for Street Fighter 6. But then Street Fighter 6 has much more complicated character biologies with the jiggle systems they have going on.
Yeah, but also this means that the fucking thing that we joked about years ago while playing Devil May Cry 5 is possible. Someone could do that.
I'd be shocked if someone hasn't.
True.
I know, like, I don't know why it is. Like, most game engines that come out of Japan are like really pretty difficult to mod. Except apparently people figure out all kinds of shit to do with the RE engine. Because there was like no time at all between Devil May Cry 5's launch and people putting in a mod that actually swaps out Virgil's chair for the stupid little plastic lawn chair.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I you can't explain some of this shit. Where did the plastic lawn chair for Virgil thing even come from? Who came up with that?
I don't know.
Ugh. Like it's one of those things that's insane in hindsight. It's like, I can't recall someone hornying up any horny mods for any of the Resident Evil women, at least in the REHD games. But like I've seen plenty of people doing people shit to Leon and to Mr. X. And I think I at one point saw somebody proudly showing off, horny on main, proudly showing off like they also slapped like Carlos in a G string or something.
Oh.
You know how hard you have to be working at it to go for that on Carlos? One of the forgotten RE Pro tags. Oh shit.
You know what they say?
This is
Resident Evil is a series for the girls and the gays and Steve.
I love Resident Evil, but Resident Evil is definitely one of those games that has got like you can tell there is a large player base of women and gay folks, which by the way, by the by, God, we trailed off from fighting games.
Yeah.
But by the by, this chick that Mike has been playing with a lot lately in various games. I've talked to her just the once. Her username is Wesker's Pet,
I see.
and it's like that uncomfortable territory of like, is this a bit or is this not a bit?
Yes.
Yeah, we're in that territory, brother. Let me tell you, that was. I mean, at the end of the day, I've interacted with a lot of strange people online. So, people her being horny for Wesker is not really that unusual. And by all means, if the fictional character knocks your socks off, then go ahead. But it was definitely unusual. Like, okay, where does the bit end and the genuine horny begin with this?
Yeah. I mean, I think my favorite bit of additional characterization for Wesker that I've seen online is Wesker has been adapted by the lesbian community as being, if memory serves. Like, and the way I found out about this is there was like Wesker themed like throw pillow and other such like little towels and shit that you put on put on furniture for basically just decoration. And it was just like it was a picture of Wesker from Marvel 3 specifically with with lesbian affirmations.
Okay, this is news to me. I mean,
Like it was either that or
I
it was trans affirmations. I forget which one, but like it was one of those two. And if memory serves, the throw pillows wearing the colors of the lesbian flag. So maybe
I guess Wesker, you could say he's like there could be a trans association there because he's like one of the only dudes in Resident Evil to inject himself with a virus and not turn into a giant meat monster. But God, I will. That's especially awkward. By the way, one of the fucking things they're gonna have to tackle with Code Veronica remake is so Code Veronica remake. I don't know if you how much of Code Veronica do you know?
nothing.
Okay, for about I don't know. Well, actually, I've never played Code Veronica. I'm only aware of the plot. I should get around to playing the original Code Veronica sometime at some point. I should look into either getting it on PlayStation or seeing if I can emulate it somehow. But either way, or find it on the sidewalk. But either which way, the antagonist for most of the early goings of Code Veronica is Alfred Ashford, who cross dresses also as his own twin sister.
Ah,
And Claire's much maligned, near universally despised love interest in that game, Steve Burnside, who will be heavily changed in the remake, I assure you, at one point calls Alfred, I think it calls him something along the lines of like either cross dressing freak or transgender freak or transvestite freak, which is one of a dozen reasons why people don't like Steve Burnside. But nonetheless, there is well, God, it's like a Psycho case. It's like a Norman Bateman, right?
yeah,
Have you ever seen Psycho?
yes,
Okay, do you remember the very
yes,
jammed in monologue by the psychologist at the end saying, so, yeah, Norman's not a crossdresser or trans. He genuinely thinks he is his mom. Transgender people and crossdressing people aren't criminals.
yeah.
Like, that monologue kind of needs to be slotted into Code Veronica
They just
because Steve Burnside.
they just license out the movie and then cut that scene in and just change the names.
Just make it a 2D print standing up like the psychiatrist is really there, but you can see he's a 2D image if you walk around his side.
Yeah,
But no, it needs that because Alfred Ashford, it is very clear the gimmick is that because he is like schizophrenic or has the dissociative identity disorder, he genuinely thinks he is his own sister.
yeah,
But nonetheless, Steve Burnside calls him a crossdresser or a transgender or transvestite or whatever.
yeah.
Like it's obviously different cases, and one could argue, well, like Steve Burnside's not supposed to be a psychiatrist. No, but he is a protagonist, and the viewer, as a general rule, is expected to trust them as an expert on things.
Yeah.
Code Veronica is not nearly the landmine that Resident Evil 5 is, but it's still going to have some shit to deal with.
Yeah.
Someone put it as simple as it can be. Oh man, Resident Evil has now gotten around to remaking the bad ones. And I've seen people, there are people who like Code Veronica and say Code Veronica is actually still good. It's just got some major flaws. But I've also seen a lot of people go like, no, Code Veronica sucks. By the way, did you know that game starts with Claire killing like fucking 400 Umbrella employees?
They deserve that. They all cheated on Wesker.
Wesker was in a very nice
Molecule.
400 man polycule. The number's actually closer to like, I don't know, 15. But Claire fucking murders 15 Umbrella employees in the opening cutscene of that game because she's running from Umbrella guards and she sees a bunch of them standing around a giant propane tank. She shoots it and it kills them all.
Nice.
And it cracks me because Resident Evil is like a very bloody, very gory series where you use a lot of guns to kill a lot of monsters. But Resident Evil does not have you kill people like God, Resident Evil Requiem, to my knowledge, is the first Resident Evil game to have an actual just human enemy that is just a regular human. And Leon runs into. Yeah, I haven't played Requiem yet. I've only seen footage. But Leon looks like he only runs into like 5 or 6 of them. And it's still startling because it's like, holy shit, Leon is killing actual people here. These are not meat monsters. These are not zombies. These are dudes with names and homes and, families and shit. And Leon's ventilating these motherfuckers. I mean, he has to. They deserve it. He needs to do it to save the world, but it's just weird because you don't think of the Resident Evil protagonists as killers.
It's fine
of anything that like is living.
It's fine because Leon is wearing an S&M outfit and no pants.
It's got a certain tactical value you can't deny because they're startled by it when they see him come up, so they don't expect Leon to pull a gun and fucking blow their brains out.
Yeah, like it needs to be said on the model that I saw. It was like 12 inches at least. Like it went near his fucking knees.
Oh, good lord! Who's that for?
People who love horses. I don't know.
Like that. Okay, look, I'm not a biological expert on this. I'm not an expert on any of this. But to my understanding, there's a very definite limit you get to before it hurts and is no longer physically feasible.
Yes.
We have a friend who was in possession of enough size where it is no longer feasible. And it is a very big trouble for him in his relationship. And he does not have that level of down to the knee. That is a very unusual fantasy for someone to have, I would have to guess.
No. You'd be surprised. Like, generally, from
or genitally.
Yeah. Like, just from being around people who are open to discussing these things, the goal for people who love that shit is longer than you can imagine and thicker than you can imagine. Like,
well, you're gonna be dealing with like a lot of, for one thing, like a gay crowd, but also furthermore a crowd that's like going to lean a lot more like interested in something that is more fantasized than what is capable from the natural human biology. But it is going to differ when you're talking about a gay crowd versus a heterosexual female crowd, because while the stereotype is that gay men just fuck each other in the ass like mad, there's a lot of practical issues with that theory.
Yeah.
So it's less of a practical concern, I would say. Again, not being an expert on the field, only going by what I've heard from others, but it is less of a practical issue for a gay couple for there to be that much going on comparative to a heterosexual situation.
I mean, even like I'm basing this off of also just like, the data I come across on the internet regularly, and like, people say they're women. I have to trust them because I have no other data.
Yeah. Isn't there a considerable overlap between the furry community and the trans community, though?
Yes, but this is outside the furry community.
Oh, okay.
Like, I'm talking like general discussions about Resident Evil. I have come across people like genuinely in Resident Evil. I've come across people going, "Yeah, fucking Leon's big long cock." I love that. And like allegedly
He
these are
wears
women.
skinny jeans in most of the fucking games. Where's it fit?
Wherever you want, I guess. In Resident Evil 10, Leon will be revealed to be the man from Nantucket, and people will rejoice.
Okay. So, I should know, you've not played the original Resident Evil 4, so you're not in possession of this knowledge. So the character Luis helps you at a few points in that game until, spoilers for a game that is now, over 20 years old, makes me feel old, Luis gets murdered by the villain of the game, Sadler. And what it is you see Luis standing on his own, very happy that he's got some cure to the disease that Leon, well, the parasite that Leon has on him. And then abruptly he gets impaled on like some fleshy tentacle ending in a blade, right? And then the blade comes back out of his chest, and we see it then slink along the ground like a serpent, going back all the way to where it came from, and then it goes up Sadler's skirt between his legs, and it retracts back in there.
Ah.
Which has inevitably led to people going, "Oh my God, did Sadler impale Luis through the chest on his fucking 40-foot long, like bladed opposable penis?"
Yeah. Sadler asked the question: What if you combine an elephant with a cat?
So I guess for Resident Evil characters, there's almost a precedent there, except that Capcom obviously did not intend for that to be his penis, but people were just like, what the fuck, is that his penis?
Yeah.
God, I think at one point in Resident Evil 4 in the Ada campaign, which I only played through once, so my memory of it isn't spectacular. But I think at some point in the Ada campaign, you fight Sadler and he has that tentacle coming out of his fucking head. Making him quite literally a dickhead.
Yep. I know writers who use subtle or who use subtext. Oh, cowards.
Oh man! All right. Before we wrap things up, because I'm worried that my internet's going to go back out again. We've had a good little 2 hours here, and that's stunning by the standards I've been working with last week.
Yeah.
I wanted to wrap up on 2 little amusing bits of Resident Evil dialogue. Well, no, I'm just going to stick with one little amusing bit of Resident Evil dialogue I've been enjoying the last couple weeks. Because I've been playing through the original version of Resident Evil 1, which I've never played before. I've also been enjoying the voice acting in that, and also a few of the cutscenes. I forgot that at the end of the Chris run, when you get into the lab and Wesker's like, "Look, my work, the tyrant. It's the genetic supreme." That Chris, for one thing, just starts laughing. And not even like a crazy laughter of I can't believe this shit. But I'm like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And Wesker's response to this is, "Chris, stop it." And Chris keeps laughing.
Nice.
And then, like, the voice acting in that game notoriously is really questionable. The writing in that game is really questionable. There is something fucking amazing about the main character running into the final villain's final plan and laughing in the most mocking way. And rather than Wesker going, "I'll kill you for this," no, he wimpily asks, "Stop it! Take my plan seriously. It's the genetic ideal.
Yeah.
I worked so hard on it."
Whenever I think of the classic Resident Evil voice acting and the way they were written, the old ones, I think of the line, "Don't go there. There were evil demons." But I think that's typing of the dead. I'm pretty sure that's typing of the dead.
No, that's Resident Evil.
It is? Okay.
Yep, that's Richard Aiken, the guy that gets eaten by the snake.
Yeah.
Terrible demons, not evil demons.
Oh, yeah,
terrible
terrible
demons. Well, before that,
Yeah, like that's
after exploring like half the mansion, Jill runs into Barry. "Barry, I think something's wrong with this mansion." Barry's response, "Yeah." And like, there's no way it was intended to be that way. That's so fucking like, no shit, Jill. Did you see that part where our buddy got ripped in half?
by the terrible demons.
It didn't occur to me until I saw someone point it out the other day. Like, I always figured the terrible demons line was just a goofy translation thing where like they translated monsters wrong or something because it makes no sense. Resident Evil's not a supernatural game; it's a sci-fi game. They're not demons; they're goo monsters from a test tube. It wasn't until I saw someone point out, like, you don't find out Resident Evil 1 is a sci-fi horror game until you get to the third act when it's like, surprise, there's actually a lab running underneath the mansion. So the demon thing probably wasn't a mistranslation. It was probably supposed to be a red herring to try and trick you into thinking it's a supernatural thing, so that
Ah,
it's a surprise twist. No, these are not ghosts or demons. These are fucking lab created monsters, which Crez do. I like that. I've always liked the even with the goofy ass original version of Resident Evil 1. It certainly works better in remake, but I always liked the twist of Resident Evil 1 of like, yeah, haunted mansion up until surprise, very clean looking lab that looks like it's been very recently inhabited.
yeah.
Oh boy. I will say, as much as everyone goes like, "Oh man, Capcom should just do Capcom versus Capcom," and I kind of roll my eyes and go like, "Guys, the Marvel characters are a major part of what people liked about Marvel versus Capcom." As much as I roll my eyes like that, Capcom versus Capcom would pop me if it meant we got more than 3 Resident Evil characters in a fighting game. Like, don't get me wrong, I love Jill, I love Wesker, I love Nemesis. Chris can go fuck himself, but I love Jill, I love Wesker, I love Nemesis. I'd like to see some other Resident Evil characters pop up there. I mean, everyone
See,
talks about Leon.
yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say they can't add Leon without his his iconic outfit, and that wouldn't clear age rating.
Yeah, but it would sell.
True.
You can make separate DLC that has a separate age rating. You actually can do that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Total War has done that for the last 10 years because that was how they would have blood and gore without it being an M rating. Is blood and gore would be DLC.
Ah,
So the base game would be T rated, and then if you bought the blood and gore DLC, the game's rating bumps up to M. They're like the only game they've ever done that. I think if any of them did it with sexuality, people would be very concerned.
yeah.
But nonetheless,
Just imagine. Oh yeah, we're gonna be running the fucking Capcom versus Capcom at Evo. By the way, Leon's banned.
there's a blank spot on the roster.
Yeah.
Capcom just builds a system into the game that can sense if it's being played in a tournament environment.
Leon is replaced by a portrait of Masahiro Sakurai.
Uh, Leon's still there, but if you try to play with the sexy costume, he's now playing in a tracksuit.
They give him the fucking Ryu's B-boy outfit from 5.
Okay, I can't lie. We're sitting here. I'm starting to actually sell myself on Capcom versus Capcom because I'm also like, man, it's weird Onimusha never got into the Marvel vs. Capcom series. And hell, that'd probably be the only way we'd get Captain Commando back.
Yeah, I mean, Onimusha wasn't in Versus. They were in Tatsunoko.
Oh, that's right. But it was the blonde dude, that fucking weirdo.
Yeah.
I want John Renault. We can get him, right?
Yeah.
Man, I only just found out the other day after playing Onimusha 1, I was like, oh, I should look up what's going on with those sequels. I didn't know the Jean Renault in Onimusha 3. I figured he was like, a Frenchman who sailed to Sengoku, Japan and got dragged into all this. I didn't fucking know he's a time traveler.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, the gimmick of Onimusha 3 is that Samanosuke, the protagonist of Onimusha 1, accidentally steps into a time warp that swaps his place in history with Jean Renault.
Okay.
So you alternate between playing Jean Renault running around in Sengoku, Japan, and he's like this modern French police military man that's in fucking Sengoku, Japan. And it's just like, yeah, don't worry about it. I can also speak Japanese. I forgot to mention it. Let's go kill some demons. And the other half of the game, you're playing Samanosuke running around in modern Paris.
Nice.
But he's still using a samurai sword to fight demons in Paris.
Why not?
Because the fucking Onis and the Genma and what have you are running around in Paris. And like the fucking president of France is like, oh no, Oda Nobunaga is invading Paris with an army of fucking like, what's the shitty little zombie demon thing dudes in Japanese, in Shinto mythology? They're like just like miners that inhaled gas underground and shit.
Gaki? No, Gaki
Yeah,
are
like
the very small monsters.
The goofballs from Neo that were like the standard enemy you kill billions of.
Yeah, I don't know what those are called. I think they're just ghouls, like yokai, just general yokai.
Yeah, like, oh no, it's 2006 era Paris, France. Oda Nobunaga, who has been brought back by the devil, is invading Paris with a horde of yokai. Good thing this time traveling samurai showed up.
Yeah, they couldn't do this with Jean Reno.
No. Well, he could have, but unfortunately, he got replaced by the time traveling samurai. And meanwhile, fucking, I don't remember which daimyo or whichever samurai you're under in Jean Reno's place, but he's like, man, it's a good thing that we have Jean Reno here to fight Oda Nobunaga and his yokai now.
Yeah,
And he's just like, hey, can you give me a gun? And I'm like, sure. I give him a musket, and he's like, what the fuck? Oh, that's fucking wacky.
I played the remake of Onimusha, the demo of it that they released, and I bounced off on the weirdest part. I did not like the new English dub.
Okay, yeah, the dubbing, you know, it kind of keeps that the dubbing's not good because playing the first Onimusha, the dub is bad.
No, see,
I
that's
mean,
the
that
thing.
was just
That's the thing. The dub is fine in the remake. I don't like that. I want it to be stilted.
God, did you ever play the first Onimusha?
Yes, I didn't finish
Okay.
it, but I did play. Like I want to say I quit at the point where it became fucking Symphony of the Night, but there was a point where it was like, okay, so now you have this item. Go back to the place that's on the other end of the fucking temple, and then put it there. And then I went to put it there, and I did one cutscene, and then got jumped by 15 people and died. And then I went back, did all of that again, one. And it was like, okay, now go back to where you were before. And I went and did that. It opened one door, and I opened the door, and it was just a shortcut. And then I had to go back to before I entered the temple.
Oh, Onimusha very much feels like it was supposed to be a Resident Evil game because it
Yes.
was. And it shows because Resident Evil, when Resident Evil's like, here's a puzzle item, take it to the other side of the map. It's like, okay, that's not much trouble because I've already like Resident Evil. Part of the fundamental gameplay, strategy, tactical elements of the classic style Resident Evils and Resident Evil 7 and the greatest parts of Resident Evil Requiem is this map. I know all the rooms. There are rooms I have cleared and rooms I have not cleared. I will try to figure out a path of least resistance through all this and see how I can strategize through this. And you can clear rooms, and once the rooms are cleared, it's clear. You can walk through it without opposition. Onimusha is weird because you can tell the game was designed that way initially, but then they made the decision to have it be also a beat 'em up and to have where killing enemies gives you currency and XP to upgrade your weapons. And so they made it where the enemies respawn so that you can grind them if you want to. Which is all very nice and convenient for upgrading my weapons if I'm having a hard time with a boss, sure. But it also means that running from one side of the samurai castle to the other is a pain in the ass because, hey, surprise, you've already killed this room like 5 times, but we're back for round 6, motherfucker.
Yeah, and that's why I didn't finish Onimusha, because I just got fed up of fighting the same four dudes walking back and forth.
Yeah, I think that's one of those things. Like I've heard Onimusha changes a lot with the sequels because they no longer like Devil May Cry. The first game is like kind of trying to still be survival horror,
Yeah.
and then the sequels are like, no, we're not doing that. That's stupid. But it's definitely one of those things. Like, yeah, Onimusha 1 could probably use like fast travel teleport chambers the same way that most Castlevanias do nowadays.
Yeah. And anyway,
All right.
fighting games were, I guess.
Fighting games were Resident Evil and Onimusha?
Sure. Why not? Resident Evil. Resident Evil was Leon without pants. Sure. Ship it.
Yeah, fighting games were everyone.